Hey guys, it's Y. It's the end of February and we're going into March. As 2022 progresses, I guess challenges will start to creep up, so we'll have to deal with them from time to time. This month is a little late, and I guess I've been kind of busy lately, maybe a little bit lazy, but nonetheless, here's the vlog. But outside of that, let me discuss what's been going on in my language learning these days. This month's stats. I've learned about 100 words, spoke about 4.5 hours, studied about 1 hour, listened actively for 1 hour, and passive listening for 2 hours. Overall, while I did reach my vocabulary goal, the rest of the areas were left out. I definitely didn't do as much as I would have liked, especially when it comes to listening. That said, it's not like I haven't been doing anything either. I've yet to miss my vocabulary and grammar reviews since the beginning of this year, for example. I think this month I got sidetracked practicing Cantonese, especially with the release of the game Seafood this month. That game pulled me away from my focus on Japanese a bit, especially when trying to figure out influences for that game. I also didn't do as much self-study as I would have liked, especially practicing my weaker grammar points. I did manage to squeeze in more speaking time. However, it seems like having a regular person to speak to is difficult at the moment. I've often found scheduling conflicts. I guess I'll have to see. Hopefully I'll be able to find something more regular eventually. I did watch a bit of ESA Winter in Japanese, but many of the games weren't too interesting, so I didn't watch too many of the runs this month. As much as I wanted to play Lost Judgment, I never got around into playing that game. It could help me with doing passive listening and immersion for the month of March, so I'll have to keep that in mind. I am aware that the way a person speaks in media versus real life are completely different from each other. But regardless, getting used to the speed of a native speaker is really the aim of most listening exercises, I think. I feel like I've actually practiced my Cantonese a bit more than usual this month. Some of the cross-language vocabulary acquisition has helped certain instances of vocabulary recall. However, there are times that it actually hinders, namely those words that have completely different definitions in both languages. What I find interesting is that I've had some Cantonese-speaking friends say that my speaking has actually improved, even though I don't really speak the language as much as I used to. It's kind of strange. Maybe learning another language has helped me to speak more fluently. Or maybe it has given me more self-confidence in speaking other languages. I'm not really sure, but maybe breaks in learning can be productive. At the time of writing and recording this vlog, it seems like they've made a Mandarin dub of the Sifu game. It'll probably entice me to play the game again with traditional strokes and, I guess, a more authentic sounding experience. That said, I do kind of wish there were games that were actually in Cantonese. Sleeping Dogs does not count. Only one character in that game speaks Cantonese. The rest decide to speak a weird mix of Cantonese with English, which is super disorienting. More on that another time when I play that game for a challenge, perhaps. So what's the plan for March? I definitely want to push immersion more. I need to do a little bit more each day at the very least. In terms of watching gaming events in Japanese, there isn't anything this month that I know of. Thus, I'll probably focus on other things. Options such as playing Lost Judgment and watching the Shenmue anime. However, since I last checked, the Shenmue anime only has 4 episodes out at the moment. So that would give me actually a good opportunity to try to do active listening activities once I get the general gist of the episodes. So probably I'll watch the anime first with English subtitles, and then cover the subtitles to see whether I do understand the dialogue, and maybe compare the translation differences as well. I've been thinking of trying to do a bit more shadowing as well, and maybe some other activities, especially if I think my current routine is too boring. I suspect the next couple of months might be tough for language learning due to scheduling changes. I will certainly need to have some contingency plans in place for that. But I think in these instances, it might actually be a good time to push for more immersion rather than studying or vocabulary acquisition. I may be at a point where learning more words every day might not be as helpful, so I should focus on understanding what I already know and making that knowledge recall ability better. It may also be a good time to figure out other study strategies as well. Well, that's it for now. If you like what you see or want to follow my language learning activities, subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching.